5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync.
Sync.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 232.
You still actually do that?
Yes.
Oh, it never ended.
It will never end.
I'm Meso.
I'm Vardaran.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Venathan.
I'm Phweffie, or formerly known as Vita.
The artist formerly known as Viper.
Artist formerly known as Viper. Wow.
I'm Takuma. What words?
Who?
I'm
Jeez.
Takuma, formerly known as. Wait, isn't that Invi?
What?
I'm Tenebrae Invictus, also known as definitely Invi.
And I'm Exx Trooper, aka just dead.
He's back!
AKA formerly
Back
dead.
from
Yes,
the
he's
dead.
back.
I was very confused
Also
there.
formerly
Again.
known as the Exx Troop.
Yeah, now known as
he's
just
back.
dead.
How have you been, man?
Where have you been?
I've been away from my Lego for so long, and I just came home, and I just have like 12 things to build in like an hour, and I just want to get back in the groove of things. It's not been a fun time.
We missed you.
I've missed everyone. I've missed the community.
Come on,
I've
X. We don't talk anymore.
I've missed
We don't talk
screaming at me. You
anymore.
know, It's
I've
like,
seen so many comments like, "Where's X? Where does X Troop?"
Yeah, people are starting to really notice.
that's
I know,
when you
man.
know I'm
We've
actually
noticed. We're like,
gone.
man, where'd he go?
I get a couple
What's the
people
deal?
though on like the message boards. See, I said message boards this time instead
Hey.
of forum. I'm learning, and they're like,
Nice.
"Hey, how you doing?" I'm like,
Strong
"I'm
comeback.
all right." You know, they know who they are. They're great.
No shout out for that.
Zero shout out the generic.
Screw those guys.
I don't remember
Shout out
their
to
names.
generic
I'm a
people.
very horrible
Pat yourself
person.
on the back if you recognize who you are.
Yeah, the guy who made like me with like
The guy who made you?
T-Rex and pancakes and cactus and a
That
bunch
would be
of
your
stuff.
father.
You mean your dad?
I don't
And
think that's what he
no,
said.
it could also be the mother.
But he said the guy that made him.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a guy who
2017,
made like an
so...
art.
Your point is, are you
Wait,
saying
is Trooper
guys
a-
can't
is-
be mothers?
Is Trooper a
Are you
once
saying
upon
guys
a
It's been
can't
child?
done.
give birth?
Mother. Hello, Father. Please
teach mosquitoes.
Really bother.
Var,
What
could
are
you
you
please?
saying?
We are trying to have a
Can't wait
civil
to
discussion
tell you.
about.
Yeah,
my
let's
What is
Hendrix.
this about?
Thanks again for sending me K9 Advantage.
Meso, could you please transition us to a comprehensible conversation?
Comprehensible conversation.
So Trooper is an actual
Comprehensible.
once upon a child. What was it like being built in a store?
Oh no, not
Well,
Oh, no. no,
like
no.
the beginning where just like parts of me were there, it was really annoying because
beginning.
you know, like someone was just like, "Hey, like you need a hand," and it's just like I literally need a hand, you know, because I just like those jokes just never got old, and then in
Hey,
the end
X,
they're
can
like,
you give me a hand?
No,
Oh,
I
that's
can,
funny.
but I have like 3 legs, you know. Just
Hey, X, are you related to the abominable snowman?
I'm actually half snowman because like
Oh, okay,
that's how
perfect.
they breed Norwegians. They just
Because I heard that with your story, it's not like any other story where all the babies are delivered by storks. Instead, you were actually delivered by a snowman, I believe. That's what I've come to hear.
Well, you like
Yeah,
you know
I-
how
I- True.
you know how that episode of Game of Thrones where like all the
No, I don't.
Oh, all right. Well, there's a bunch of
Spoiler
snow,
alert.
but like it's a lot less gruesome. That's how Norwegians are born. That's how it works, you know.
Turns
Nice.
pretty gruesome.
Wow.
And there's
So-
polar bears as well.
So you're suggesting that all of our audience watch Game of Thrones, is what you're saying?
No, I would recommend everyone
Viewer
to
discretion
watch
advised?
Murphy's Law.
Definitely advised.
Yeah.
I'm
Disney
Polar
Channel.
Bear Kin.
Yeah.
You're polar bear.
Yeah. But I actually brought up the guy who made the artwork. Can I just say his
Yeah,
name?
sure.
His name is Decepticon Aiden. Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, yeah, the dude that drew
Yeah.
me a Megatron.
Yeah, and I told him, hey, like he's just like, hey, can you just like draw? Can I just draw something for you? And I was just like, I was on something, and I just wrote to him, I'm riding a Truckosaurus Rex wearing a cape while desperately trying to eat waffle as I drive faster than literally Sonic. Also, there's a cactus penguin that's upset about the declining economy, and he literally drew that. He made that,
Why have I not seen this?
and I can just link to
Let me
it.
see if I can find the topic.
And
It's right there.
I forgot.
Eating a waffle and trying.
John actually linked to it, and I totally forgot about it because I just had no idea that I actually wrote that, and I just visited the message boards one time, and he actually made that, and it was just insane.
Oh my!
I can't.
This is amazing.
What
I'm
the-
gonna have that printed out on very professional paper and stuff, and have it
Dude,
framed.
you need to get one of those canvas print things. to
Yeah,
stick on
yeah.
the wall.
It's amazing piece of art.
I
would
want
pay
a
for it.
colored version of this.
Yeah,
That cactus-
he should work
that
more on
cactus
that.
penguin is legit.
He's really good at doing
Yeah.
what he did here. It speaks to
That's-
me on an emotional
special.
level.
Wow.
So how
Well,
have every one of you guys been though? Because you guys asked me how are you guys doing?
Oh, you missed it, X. I launched a new show. Eljay launched a new show too.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
There's lots
Vin
of
launched an
new
old
stuff.
show, but technically a new show.
People are loving them either way.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Well, this
that
channel
does not apply here at all, but
This channel is
felt like
very
saying
much
that.
used to relaunching old stuff and then seeing it canceled. So let's just keep that spin. Just keep that
Okay.
wheel
Yeah,
spinning.
You know what? You could go back
You
to
know
being
how-
gone.
No.
Send them back to wherever.
I'll say this. I'll try to keep eBay Today up for more than 2 years. How about
Thanks.
I will quote you on that.
That sounds.
I will remember
Or
that.
even I'd even take a
X.
full 2 years instead of a year.
X.
Max, let me ask you this: Were you around when we went to Brick Fair?
My question was first.
Yeah, I was there, but I was not in Brick Fair, so I was kind of just
that? Yeah, you missed out on
Right,
Brick
right.
Fair, dude.
Well, I
did.
never have the money to go to those.
You know what?
Get
Will
the
you have the
money.
money this year? Do you not need to kill a mafia boss?
I actually
the money?
have money for it. Now, because my grandma gave me a lot of money. I don't really know why. I think there was an occasion or something, but I have 4,000 krones for whatever I want it to be, and I guess I can use it on that. I heard they have Domino's in America, so I guess it's worth it.
No, it's a rarity.
Confirmed.
No,
we
we
do have
actually
Domino's.
banned Domino's a long time ago. We replaced it with Round Table. I'm sure you
I
must have
literally
heard
had
it.
Domino's last night.
Is King Arthur sat
No,
there?
no,
almost
that's
did.
not
It was
true.
an illegal
He had
establishment.
Round
I
Table.
will take VAR as a reliable source on the existence of Domino's. So if he is saying that Domino's is in existence, then I would say a trip to America
Well,
is.
of
What?
course. I'm kidding. I
Actually-
actually used to work at a Domino's.
Actually, I was
No, you
in
didn't.
America
Yeah.
at some point.
How would you know? You don't know my life.
You told
Exactly,
us
because you don't tell us about it.
You don't know my life.
No, you
I
didn't.
know that you didn't
I
work at
know
no
because
Domino's.
I checked your yearbook, and you didn't.
What is
I
that?
looked up.
The month.
I looked up your LinkedIn account, and Domino's was not listed there, Ben. So you must be wrong.
Oh, this man, he's well experienced in every field possible. He worked at Domino's.
I worked at
He's got in every field
Domino's,
possible except for Domino's.
Yeah, no,
You
exactly.
worked at Domino's?
Yeah, I used to
Did
stack
you not
the
get
Domino's.
into Papa John's? Was there trouble? What?
Papa John's is overrated. All right, I walked into the Papa John's, and the very moment I walked into that Papa John's, they all judged me. They all
Yeah, they were filled with papas,
Right. No,
and they're all named John. And Ben's neither.
What was-
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's
And
the-
he was not.
What's the name of that
John or
food
Papa.
chain?
He walked into Domino's, and Domino's was like,
They
"Yeah,
judged
Dama,
me.
yes, we'll hire
They judged
you."
Tommy,
me.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The wordplay.
They judged me because of my skin tone.
Oh.
But seriously,
They said I wasn't cheesy looking enough.
And then they quickly built a
There's
wall
racism
between
in
you
there
and them.
everywhere.
I'm
I
sure
don't
that was
know.
funny
There's
somewhere.
weird undertones to this.
Yeah,
this
I
is-
mean, like,
this is like a
I-
minefield in terms
I
of
mean, I guess
territory.
it was supposed to build up to a joke. Like, I assume.
No, it's all improv.
No, this is
Man,
all
okay.
Clearly.
completely scheduled, planned
You're
out.
improv.
Every single line.
And as soon as you left the Papa John's, they built a wall
I
of
honestly,
crust.
I do not care how you react to anything that I say. In fact, the fact that you've been giving me this much attention up until this point makes it very evident that I'm doing a good job of keeping your attention. So,
Hey,
Vin,
to
are
be
you
fair,
okay
hey,
this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need someone to talk to, man?
I'm waiting for you guys to actually start talking about something relevant, man.
All right, dude.
I'm relevant, kind of.
I hate to break it to you, Vin, but there's no news.
You guys passed me the potato, and now I'm like juggling it.
Passed you the potato.
Why not like a
Why
talk?
is it
Isn't
a
it
potato?
usually like a
Whoever
pillow, like a
passing the
talking
potato.
pillow?
A talking pillow?
No, not
That
a
sounds
talking
creepy.
pillow.
Can you
but-
imagine you're just lying there, you're trying
like
to
a
sleep,
talking stick.
and then the pillow's just like, so how about
What?
weather?
I don't feel
I'm confused, uncomfortable, and also, very warm for some reason.
Very warm.
Good to know. Good to know.
Isn't it like cold year
Actually,
part
no,
of
it's
year?
really hot in here. Jeez, why am I wearing this sweater?
Because you're
I'm
cold.
okay. I'm moderate temperature because I just went running out in the cold. So
How'd that go?
I also
Alright.
went
Are
running
you
out
some
in the
kind of
cold.
I rage ran.
You
You
rage run.
run.
I was angry.
Exactly.
I was angry and upset for some reason, so I decided to rage run.
Phweffie
More people
upset?
should do
No.
what you do.
Stop.
I imagine
No, don't do
Doing
it.
Don't
stupid
do it.
stuff. People should
Stop.
just run, burn calories. That was a very good decision on angry you know.
You know, I would feel really bad for any dog walkers because I was literally running at like full speed, going in the dark.
Oh, jeez.
What in the world?
We're-
It's a nightmare.
Formerly
I'm imagining the scene from Avengers where the Hulk is chasing Scarlett Johansson.
No,
Gotta say,
I
like,
was
imagining
imagining the
Phweffie.
scene from SpongeBob where
It's like
Sandy's
both combined at
chasing.
once.
Have any
really
of you
spook.
seen that movie Split? Because
dude,
don't spoil Split.
No.
Kind of
Stop
I've seen it.
spoiling things.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
fine.
spoiling
I
anything.
I heard
just
it's
said-
good. Spoiler.
Spoilers, someone runs in the movie, okay? Someone's running.
I know what you're
Alright.
talking about. I got the reference.
Alright, thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I
Now the
understand you.
movie-
No, I
You
also
see, I
ran-
like John because we got a mutual understanding, unlike you bozos.
Yeah.
The rest of you are like,
Whoa,
constant-
what?
no, you know what? You
That's like-
constantly. No,
Whoa.
you know what, X? You know what, X?
in
You're cool too because you weren't
2017,
here.
man.
No, X, you haven't.
Bozo.
X, you haven't been here, so you're forgiven.
I'm here
Automatically, you
now.
are forgiven. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
I like you.
I like
Wow.
you too, man.
Okay, I'm sorry that we give you money. Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
money so you can go watch that movie.
give me money. You personally hand me money. Yes, thank you,
Oh,
LJ.
Okay,
for
fine.
lying
Next
to the
time I'll
audience.
just shove it up your nose. Well, we'll see who's.
Oh yeah, we'll see who's
LJ,
shoving
angry.
what upside
LJ, we need
somebody's
to go
what.
watch.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we
we
should
need
all
to
just
go
take
watch
a
a
run.
movie with
Like
Ben's
bike.
money.
I go for a rage
Hold
run
on,
now.
What's that Phweffie? I hear you like faintly.
We
in
need
the
to go
background.
watch a movie with Ven's money.
Sounds like
do
a
it.
good idea to me.
Exactly.
How
Let's-
you
We
suck
should all
now.
split, Like,
On the
can you
house.
watch
We
it
should
again,
watch-
John? Is that alright?
Chariots of Fire.
Let's
that's what
split
we
the
should
money
watch.
between us and go watch Split.
We should watch Suicide
would
Squad
not mind.
again.
Sigh.
Oh, that movie, boy.
Surfs
Oh,
too?
boy.
They made a second one?
Katana.
Surfs Up or Surfs 2?
Surf.
They did make a second
Surfs?
Surfs Up. They did.
Smurfs?
Surfs.
No, it's Surfs Up. You know
That
the
was
one
just-
with
Surfs Up,
That
too.
was just a teaser. That was
Smurfs up.
just get Smurfed, son.
Oh no.
No, I don't know about any Smurfs. I think they made a Smurf movie though.
Smurfs the Lost
Excellent.
Village.
They
Yeah,
did.
That's the
Smurfs.
next
They made
one.
several.
Actually, you know what?
Village.
Hold up, X. I have a question for you. Legitimate question. What was the last book you read?
It was the only book I've ever read in my entire life, and it was in 4th grade, and it was the Fantastic Mr. Fox or something.
Really?
That was the
Yeah.
only
Wait,
book.
that was the only book you've ever read?
Yes.
You've never even read a Bionicle
Yes.
No Bonkle books, no Harry Potter.
Yes.
Nothing.
You never read
I have actually read half of a Harry Potter book, to be honest.
Have
but
you ever
like,
seen the movies?
I've seen all the movies a lot of times because my sister likes Harry Potter, like I like Star Wars. So
Alright.
Did you
You
say
should
Book? You
fantastic?
read Star Wars books.
no, I've actually read like some
never
of one of the Star Wars books, but that's like I think they like made the movie and then they made like the book out of the movie, so it's like a
Have
reverse thing.
you-
It's really weird. I found it.
Oh,
it
they
was
did that
for
with
like
Golden
a.
Compass.
Adaptation. I get
have you
I
seen
did.
Fantastic Beasts?
Oh, it's so good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It's so nice.
It's so
good.
Sivar, we found another
Yes,
one.
another convert.
It's a lot. It's a lot better than like the last Harry Potter movie. Like I didn't really like the last half of the Harry Potter movies. I really liked it when they were like in school and stuff. And so I don't know because it's completely
Wait,
different.
you mean the later half of the movie series or the later half?
Series.
Of
Yeah, the
last
movie
movie.
series. Like in the first ones,
The last
Oh, okay.
they are at like the school and there's school stuff happening. I really liked that sort of premise going on. I didn't really like the whole like, yeah, we need to kill that guy. He's bad, you know.
Edge.
But Fantastic
yeah,
Beasts
sure.
sort of brought that back, but it's not
Instead,
really.
they killed a
it's-
bunch of innocent people.
Yeah, that too.
in
But like the
attempt to kill
settings
the
like
beast.
completely different, but it just
So
still
let me
brings
try
that
to
feeling.
let me try to comprehend what you're saying. So you're saying that you like the I guess the charm of the older films.
Yeah, I like
Doing
the
the
more
hard work.
light-hearted stuff that you see in
yeah,
the films,
like
and I
the
felt like that
tone
was
and-
reflected in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Bionicle 2001.
So you're telling me you're a nostalgia baby?
No, because all the movies and all everything that they're milking out, like I played COD 4 remastered and it was bad, you know.
Oh,
nice.
Wait, hold the phone. It was bad.
It was bad because the tick
That's
rate.
like the first time I heard somebody talk
the
about
tick rate
this.
is 10
That's
on the
bad.
remastered version, and on the old
does that
one
mean?
it was 20.
Educate an uneducated schmuck. What does tick rate mean?
All right, so what happens with tick rate is that when you shoot a guy, you shoot 3 bullets, right? And then after a while, the game will tell you that you shot those 3 bullets, and then the game will tell that other guy that you shot him with 3 bullets. And how often they update this from happening is based on tick rate. So that means, you know, in Call of Duty, you go around the corner, and you shoot a guy 3 bullets, and you instantly die, and you get no hit markers. That's because
I always shoot the guy.
at that point in time, you shot him before the tick rate updated. You were basically like unsynced in terms of the tick rate.
It's called tick
Yeah,
rate!
and-
Holy crap!
It's called
Tick rate.
yeah, different
That's what I always
different
hated!
Call of Duties will balance frame rate, server maintenance, and everything, and everything, and it will basically be based on how much this happens. Like in Call of Duty Ghosts, everyone felt like they died instantly, but that was because the tick rate was really slow. So you shot a guy 3 times, and
Max, you are blowing my mind
and,
right
like,
now.
when
Right.
when they updated, it would be as if you were hit by those 3 bullets in an
All at
instant.
once.
You know,
You are literally describing.
They
The
don't make
Overwatch
sense.
team actually did.
you
that
are
makes
literally
sense.
describing everything I've hated about Call
the
of Duty.
Overwatch team did a video all about this. I need to find this.
Very
now.
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
that's like literally everything I've always hated about COD was this like
Yeah,
the fact
seriously.
of like you never matched the kill feed or anything, and I always felt like I died too fast.
people say lag and all that, but it's literally just because the higher the tick rate, the more maintenance and the more it costs and stuff. It's literally just like budget cuts, and like
Wow.
it's better for Activision to have the lowest tick rate possible because then their servers are cheaper.
That
Everything's
makes-
just cheaper for them to do. So basically, the new version of COD 4 has worse servers and more latency and more lag than the one that was on PS3 made like 7-8 years ago.
Oh, that makes
So-
so much
Just keep
sense.
that in mind.
But to be fair though, it's because like I would say because it's a remastered version, so there are a lot of new things going into it. It's a higher res.
That's hilarious,
game.
man.
X,
because
So
I
when they
need you to
remade
do
it,
me a
the tick
favor.
rate-
there's a
X.
lot of people that picked up.
John was trying to
Infinite
explain
Warfare
something
for,
there, though, or saying something.
Yeah, all those people
We
who
should
bought
finish.
like the game to play the remastered version. and turned
Yeah,
out to be
just for the
garbage.
remaster. There are definitely people who picked it up just for
Yeah.
the remaster. So that's
X,
a shame.
Meso's one of the people that want to do that, and I kept on telling him,
For
no,
a
don't. Can you back me up here, X?
It's nice nostalgia factors. It's nice to just jump on a game and play Call of Duty, but like if not just the nostalgia factor keeps you driven, like you will be frustrated because the things that you hate about Call of Duty will be there and it will be in its full glory. You will go around a corner and you will shoot a guy and it will be no hit markers and he will kill you back. So unless you want to go on an unlimited nostalgia trip, then that's all it is. It's just nostalgia trip. That's all it is. It's not. You're not gonna have too much fun because of the tick rate problem alone. It's no, just like I'm a very babbly person, so I'm just gonna say no. Like just no, just don't buy it, dude. It's not worth it. just play Overwatch. It has higher tick rate, man.
I've been doing
There
that.
we go.
Yeah.
that's like all we've been doing.
Overwatch.
Me too.
I have
Okay,
been
X.
all up in Overwatch.
I have another inquiry, X, because recently I picked up Black Ops 3. What do you think of Black Ops 3?
I think Black Ops 3 is an okay game at its core. The supply drops kind of ruined that game from the ground up. The game balance is really weird with Treyarch, because Treyarch has basically the way Treyarch makes their games in terms of like compared to Infinity Ward is that they always have a tactical aspect of things. They always want people to come out and do different tactics and have all this stuff in mind. Infinity Ward kind of just like throws spaghetti on the wall, see what sticks. And so what? So what happens to Treyarch games is that like it sort of has like a tame experience. Like all the guns, like a lot of the guns in Black Ops 3, they feel good, but they don't feel incredibly amazing. So
Right.
But
Like they do the job, but none of them are like really instant kills or anything like that.
but I could talk about 3 hours about just tick rate alone on Call of Duty. Like
How's the tick rate on Black Ops 3? Do you know?
I've not looked up the tick rate on Black Ops 3, but I know it's better because the competitive scene is very fond of Black Ops 3. That's something I will say.
I haven't really tried the online multiplayer yet because I only just recently picked it up, and the only reason why I picked it up was because I played local multiplayer with a friend before, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to just try that out with another friend of mine. So at that moment, we were just sitting in my room, kind of bored, thinking of what to do, and I was like, you know what? Let's play some Black Ops 3. So I bought it on Steam. We played local multiplayer for like a good while. And it's hilarious, man. I love the boxing gloves. Have you tried the boxing gloves? Those things changed.
Oh, the melee weapons, dude. I don't know if you're memeing me or not right now, but I hate the boxing gloves.
Dude, the boxing gloves are probably the best thing to have ever happened in first-person shooting history.
Well,
Team Fortress 2 has done them a long time ago.
Yeah, just no. But like, end of it.
Gloves
no,
of running urgently. Anyone?
I think it's an okay, and it's a good game in terms of quality. It has character. It's a good quality game, but I just don't like what the game is. But I would recommend, if you want a Call of Duty as of right now, I think the best Call of Duty in recent years right now to get is Black Ops 3. And we should just end about talking about Call of Duty for now, but we can have...
All right. Thanks for joining us on the Call of Duty podcast, also known as the TTV Podcast.
I was about to say, I bet you're blowing the minds of a lot of people watching this right now, because I think they're probably not used to you, being so, talkative or, know this much about
You're
something.
hardcore, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're a freaking,
right?
FPS expert.
That's
crunch more
why I
numbers
wanted to
than
ask
me.
you
I
all
know
this, 'cause I'm
every-
wow, I've never heard you talk this much.
Well, I go in depth about a lot of stuff because I try to find exactly what I can do with all the guns in the entire game. For example, in Black Ops 1, I know
You're
the
my spirit
stats
animal.
of every single gun in the entire game in my head, just because that game was so easy to determine.
What's the recoil on the P90?
The P90 fires 925 RPM in COD 4. In Modern Warfare 2, it fires 800 RPM, the same as the M4. And it does...
but what's the recoil, I asked?
What, the recoil direction on it?
Sure.
It's
it has recoil in it, I'll take
it's
it.
50 and 50 on the left and the right.
I have no idea what that means.
And the center
You're making me
speed
happy.
is 1,200. And none of the sights will lower the center speed, unlike the M16.
I have no way of knowing
I'm
if you're just
gonna say
making
this
this
right now.
up on the
LJ,
spot,
you
though.
back up, man, because this is my man. X is my man. I call dibs right here, right now.
But yeah, we
Dibs
should
on
end
X.
about Call
No
of
way.
Duty now. We should talk about that some other time. Let's
You want to
Trooper's
fight?
my brother.
I'll fight you. I'll fight you.
Oh, we're going to fight. We already have it planned out. Where's my chart? Who's fighting who?
Where's my knife?
All right, where's my conversation segue? Here we go. So, let's talk about some of our plugs, guys. Do you like our content? I hope so, because I like making it. If you do happen to enjoy us, I would go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/the TTV channel for some exciting perk offers that I think a lot of you will truly enjoy, such as early access to our podcast audio the day before it goes up on YouTube, all sorts of cool stuff calling in on live streams, which we're doing after the podcast today. Next week we'll talk about how that went. You just awesome place to be. There's tons of incredible perks. We have a lot of cool people that have already pledged their support over there. I would encourage you to go check it out. And stay tuned, because later in the show we'll be talking about our weekly Patreon shout-out. And also, if you want to discuss our content, or Bionicle, or Lego, or anything whatsoever, check out the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. And enter our Brickonicle contest while it's still going on.
Oh, that is shaping up to be a real nice contest.
I'm surprised the quality of work that's coming out of it.
There's a lot.
I'm really
cool
impressed
stuff.
by some of the work that's been done for that contest. You should definitely go check it out. We will be doing a special on it at some point, talking about all our favorite entries and kind of talking about the winners and stuff. But man, there are some good contenders here.
Totally right.
When it comes to System Bionicle.
At the time of this recording, we have roughly 35 entries.
That's awesome. Woo!
Oh,
and we have about, out of those, there's a good number that I'm like, man, it's going to be hard to choose between these guys.
Yeah.
We've already kind of had discussions behind the scenes where it's like, which one's going to get those spots, so.
But that's
I'm
basically that.
excited.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. So, back to the discussion of beating people up.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
I found my chart. The first match will be me versus Meso because I have a lot of frustration with the dude that I need to get out there.
All right.
And for all the
Do you need to
viewers
go
who-
for a run?
And for all the viewers who don't know, and by we I mean mostly me, have been planning IRL fights at Brick Fair. We're not gonna fight at the convention. We're gonna fight on our own time. Don't worry about that. So anyway, first is gonna be Ven v Meso, Dawn of Venanak. Then I wanted to fight Var for some reason. I don't know why. I just had that written here. So after I fight Var, I will fight the Eljay.
The Eljay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then of
Not
course
just any LJ, Eljay.
in the meantime, while I'm fighting Meso, LJ, there will be LJ v John. LJ v Johnny, actually. John of Johnson.
What? The John of Johnson.
Isn't that like a Band-Aid company or something?
Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson.
Everyone says it at the same time.
Juan and Watson.
All right, well,
Yeah, so the moral of the story here is we just need to make our own Band-Aid company.
Actually, it sounds like a cool band name, like John, Juan, and Johnson.
That sounds like an
Really a
Ed
cool
and
band
Eddie
name?
ripoff.
Ed and Eddie.
Maybe just a band name.
How about She Likes Cloth? That's a good band name.
So everybody in the comments, post your bets. Like who's gonna win, who will win, who's next,
Who will prevail?
Who will lose?
Who
Who
will-
will
All right.
prevail?
Who will tell the final tale?
All right, so I guess we're going to enter the topsy-turvy world of BIONICLE G3 once more on this week's podcast. Where did we last leave off in our discussions? We were talking about System Bionicle, right?
I think we left off
Kind of
talking about the
the
minifigures.
Yeah, that
We
the
kind of
minifigures
all
was the
unanimously
last one.
determined, yes, Bionicle could work as a system theme. And it could have minifigures, preferably in the style of something like Nexo Knights, where they don't use a bunch of custom parts. It's more the standard minifigure template with extra printing and armor pieces to accentuate it.
Yes.
Rather than something like the HF fig. So you agree, yeah?
Yes! Oh my god, yes!
Thanks, man.
Love the
We should
enthusiasm, man.
you should be on when we were doing our coverage of the Brickonicle contest.
Oh yeah, X, I totally want to commission
Yeah.
you to do a Bionicle minifigure.
I don't know what commission means, but yes.
It just means like I would like pay you to make me something for a reasonable fee.
What do you want me to make, man?
Okay, I want you to make like how you would envision a Nexo Knights minifigure, but for Bionicle.
Yeah, dude.
Do you want with or without armor?
With armor, yeah, definitely with armor,
armor.
for sure. Like just like the Nexo Knights figures.
All right. So-
However you think it would work best.
Yeah, however you think that would look and how it would work, you could cut it up, you could do
And it
whatever.
should be like
I would
the
love to see that.
Bionicle style. It shouldn't be like a minifigure that like looks like a city guy, but it just looks
just
Tahoe.
Just imagine if Bionicle, if it was a system theme, and imagine what the minifigures would look like.
Right.
You just there's no particular way that we're telling you to do it, but it's just like
How do you think Lego would do it?
yeah.
Well, I mean, partially too, like, even
They
beyond
do
that,
it
I do
wrong.
want to see you,
That's
like...
how they do it.
Right.
Because that's how they've done it so
right.
far.
I do want you to do it right, because that's what we're talking about
Shade
with
is
D3.
being
I do want to
thrown.
see that concept. We've been talking about, we have sets in the Bionicle contest, but we don't have a lot of minifigures, because a lot of people are doing sets into, like, LDD and stuff, and so they're not able to make custom minifigures. So I would really enjoy it if you were able to, like, give us some proof of concept about how that would look, so we can kind of envision what G3 might look like as a system theme going into the future.
So is that happening? Is G3 actually happening?
No.
Or is
No,
that...
we're talking about a conceptual.
Yeah, completely hypothetical.
I was like really
Someone just
excited
hit
now.
balls.
Like,
Someone just rang
are
a
we
gong.
actually reviving?
Wait, hold
I
on.
think they
what
just
was
hit a
that?
guitar. I think someone's guitar fell over.
No, that was a spring on my new boom arm.
Oh yeah, I have
Oh.
got
It was,
one of
it was
those.
it was out of place. It wasn't on like the actual groove, so I thought I'd just sneak it in. I didn't realize I was gonna do that.
That's awesome. It's like a gong right up.
Because like
All right, yeah.
I've seen
We've been talking about how we would do Bionicle G3.
I've seen some posts on the message boards of someone who made like concepts of like some vehicles and stuff using the Hero Factory minifigures. Like I think I
Yeah,
have them
that's
on
part of
Flickr
the
as well.
contest we're running.
I don't remember the
So
name.
we're doing this contest where we're like,
Yeah.
we're telling people to build a Bionicle set using system based on anything in G1 or G2, or kind of using canon Bionicle characters in order to do a set and kind of show what it would look like as a system theme. And so far, like a lot of the concepts that you've probably seen have come from that.
Yeah, I love
All right,
all those
really?
concepts. I
Really,
love
man?
the crawler and all that. It's just, it will look so neat, and like, they have the IP, they could do this, but Lego's like, nah, son, we need to make more Minecraft sets. Just,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, we were talking beforehand, I do think that there is some room for it to come back as a system theme. I do think that like a lot of people are against it just kind of because. There's a lot of people who like are construction purists or just don't like the idea of change. We did a poll about a couple.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't we agree it was a bad
Honestly,
poll?
they are. What?
what?
Well, I guess it makes sense just the way you said it. It was like pure.
Only stupid people said it was a bad poll. So.
Whoa, dude, that's like,
Hey, you're entitled
Wow.
to your opinion.
It's okay.
I don't
He has nothing left to
necessarily
lose.
agree, but
you're really low for me, Viper. You sound small.
I am small.
No, you're a giant. In your heart. I don't
Anyhow, I don't know where that was
Yeah,
going to go. I'm not sure where that was going,
Yeah.
but anyhow, so that's actually just catching you up to speed. That's what we've been talking about. So now we're kind of like going over what we would do in terms of like story and different things going on in Bionicle G3.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it could work? Do you think you'd prefer it more to Construction?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You,
Oh.
Would you like a system?
Well, the
You're
whole
man of the
thing
hour.
about Lego themes is that I like consistency. I want something to last as long as it can. So I'm more like, it's less about me personally. It's more about the circumstances surrounding this thing. That's why I really like Star Wars, because it's a giant and it will never disappear no matter what, because just it brings in the money. So whatever Bionicle would need to become for it to continue, like that's one of the reasons why I like Bionicle. Like, I would buy a Bionicle set, and I would make my own Bionicle creation, and I know this theme, this world, would just be built upon over the years, and then it got cancelled, and then we just all wanted to die. And so if Bionicle could make it as a non-construction theme, as like a system theme, I think it would, if it was done the proper way. I think it would, like with the minifigures and stuff, because like what we've seen with Ninjago and Nexonice is that these very like radical, cool theme with like bunch of monsters, robots, dragons, big vehicles, all that. It can work. Small kids, they love that. They love big things, robots, all that stuff. And I think if they did this proper and they have this incredibly cool, deep theme where they could just do so much, where they could make these huge creatures, they could make these mechs piloted, like just imagine like the Nexonites that we just the newest like little robots that you have like a little seat in it, little cockpit. Like people, you guys have seen those. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, no, comments, please, anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Somewhat,
Yeah,
yes.
those. Yeah, well, just imagine those in that scale, but as the Exotoa with just like Bionicle minifigures, Litaho, and all. Like that would be incredibly cool to buy.
That would be.
It would be. People would eat that up. It would be detailed, small creatures. So I very much. If you want a yes or no answer, or like not just me just babbling for 30 minutes about yes or no, I would say yes. I think Bionicle would have worked better as a system theme if done properly. Because the thing LEGO does, and they've done this time on time, is that what brings the LEGO system together is the minifigure, and if you alienate that aspect with the theme, it does not go together with the rest of their collection. When you
Exactly.
you saw the
Yes.
you saw yes, John is just like because that's
Right, there
exactly
we
what
go.
it is, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you. I'm so with
exactly
you.
brother.
that, you know, because with the Mahi and the Parakas, you know, they had these like they were
Exactly.
really cool minifigures, but like little Timmy, he has this big Lego city, and like these little Bionicle guys, they don't really fit together. They're like they're kind of
We
separate.
gotta look out for a little.
Yeah, you know, so like if like Timmy wanted to expand his little Lego world, but these guys look way too different, so he doesn't want this. He does not relate to this to these other guys. So
minifigure.
yeah, so but
In the grave.
so if all these cool vehicles and monsters and robots had minifigures piloting them that they were familiar with, that they wanted to expand upon, then it would work better. But it's just the thing that
You see,
Right.
on one hand, I
I'm
do
totally with
agree.
you.
It would be kind of odd to not have the Bionicle minifigures sort of in line with other minifigures. You know, they don't follow the same aesthetic, I guess. But on the other hand, it's also my thing would be the Bionicle characters aren't even supposed to be humans or anything like that in the first place. Like, how tall did they say that Tahu was supposed to be?
All
Like,
Toa are
believe it-
approximately 7 feet tall.
like 7 feet tall, like freaking superhumans, man. Like these things, like, so I guess I wouldn't be too distraught if the Bionicle minifigures were, say, something like the Hero Factory minifigures, where they had a general different aesthetic and they're slightly bigger than the minifigures, but they were still compatible with Lego parts, you know?
Well, okay, here's the thing. The point that X is trying to make is that, like, if you make something too different from a Lego minifigure, it detracts from the collection, and that makes those minifigures undesirable. The same thing has happened to the Bionicle minifigures of the past, and I would say the same things happen to the Hero Factory minifigures. Like, minifigure collectors do not really like the
Okay,
Hero
then
Factory
let's think of
But
something
additionally,
like Chima.
too,
Would you consider Chima minifigures to be desirable?
I consider
I mean,
Chima
I
a
don't
failure
think-
because they
Yeah.
took it.
Yeah.
They tried, but they took it a step too far. I think Nexonites is. I think of Chima as the beta for Nexonites. Like,
Right.
Right.
The
But
Chima
I mean-
characters were desirable because they were Chima fans, and there were a heck of a lot more minifigures there, at least for
Right.
that line.
Right,
and something
but
like
do you
HF, so
think
people were
like
interested
they're
in it.
desirable in the way that people would want them alongside their other minifigures, or that they would want to mix and match the parts?
I don't think so, because it is such a specialized kind
Yeah,
of...
because that's what I'm saying.
face and
Like, we've
everything,
already
right.
had a specialized line that did well, garnered fans and collectability. So what? You know, I don't think a Bionicle would be too far off.
No, I would. That's the thing, though. I don't feel that way, honestly, and I feel like Bionicle would best work if the actual figures themselves, the actual like things, were proportionate to the minifigures. So they're just treated like helmets and armor, as opposed to like actually being, you know, this completely new building system. And another
it's
thing that
difficult.
was
Well, it doesn't need to be a completely
like,
new building
well,
system. I'm just
Right.
thinking like it might be more fitting to just make a different kind of figure for the Bionicle characters. That way,
I am very against that.
that way you can
That's
what I was talking
translate
about before.
the textures of the older sets into these minifigures a little bit more.
yeah, but that's the thing. Like that I was talking about like what you actually want and what like would actually work. Because like
Right.
no matter how much we talk about Bionicle, I think that the opinion about whether or not Bionicle should return will always be biased. Because the thing is that Bionicle didn't do that well. Because the figures, the characters, and all that, it was just not too desirable to kids. They didn't want those that much, and I really am very strong about this thing about like the minifigures is what brings the Lego system together. It's the only 100% consistent thing that brings all these themes together, and if you take away that one string that keeps all this together, I just don't think it would work, no matter how you do it.
Most of the ones that
But
changed too far have failed.
I do get what you say about like these BIONICLE figures. They have a lot of detail, like what we saw like at the later span.
Yeah,
of
they have a very different aesthetic from your
they
typical like human type of.
Right, but
and
okay,
that should
let's
reflect them in minifigures as well, because
form,
that's what BIONICLE is. Like basically, you if you want to make BIONICLE system, it needs to be BIONICLE as well. Like it's not, it can't be just, it can't be just like a reskin Chima, but that's just like that's my opinion
I feel like
on it.
Next to Nights is
I get
to
you,
get
man.
a
I'm merely playing
representation
devil's
of that.
advocate because
Well,
I don't
Well, I mean, like
Hero
partially
Factory
too.
mini-
Like additionally,
The Chima minifigures are weird, but they were still the minifigure template. You know, the Hero Factory minifigures were weird, but they still used the template. They used like skeleton bone structure. They were just as much minifigures.
I wouldn't call that
like,
the template.
Oh,
I wouldn't say
that's
that's
what I'm saying. If BIONICLE followed that sort of template, I'm not saying
Yeah,
completely
I think
change
that
the
would
building system or anything. I'm saying would it really be that bad if they did something
Yes,
like
it would.
Hero Factory did?
We always talk about
honestly,
Chima
like-
or whatever. Let's talk about Exoforce, because Exoforce is beloved. And
I was
they
just
had
about
some,
to
Oh
mention
yeah, they had the
Exoforce.
little robots.
the Exoforce villains. We always use the term Exoforce arm because that's where it like.
That's where that piece
originated.
came from. It debuted in Exoforce in 2006.
And they still
Yeah.
use that piece so much.
Yep.
Was
That they do.
Exoforce considered a flop?
Well, yes,
I mean,
actually,
kind
it
of.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
You see, what happened was the first year was incredible. It did really well in 2006, but the second year, the Golden City, it killed the line. So that way, when the third year came along in 2008, it kind of just petered out. There were less sets. The story was discontinued completely, and it hasn't come back since.
So it barely did any better than G2 did.
Honestly,
barely.
yeah.
Very, very barely. Yeah.
About like a wave more than G2.
Half
I
a
think.
wave more, yeah.
Half a wave more. So yeah, basically. I mean, like, okay. One of the things that you were saying, Van, as part of your reasoning, though, is that the like comparing like how tall the tower is supposed to be compared to humans. We're redesigning BIONICLE. That doesn't have to stick. It doesn't matter what like. So like, I mean, we could say. I mean, I would say honestly that like we could get away with using. Like I would say that like we would try to make the BIONICLE characters as close to humans as possible this round. Like there's some things in the original canon that kind of separated it, and it makes sense. They didn't have families. You know, they couldn't have kids. There was no romance. Girls were in a specific tribe or like style of thing. Like all those things kind of worked against BIONICLE. I feel, specifically having genders assigned to like one tribe, and also not having any sort of romance whatsoever. Both those things like really hindered like I guess a lot of potential stuff that BIONICLE could have done, could have used.
Should be canon.
Love should be canon.
Yeah.
I disagree.
There's a whole myriad of reasons.
But
I will
Rudolph,
we should talk about this on the live stream. I really want to debate this on the live stream.
Fanfiction.
We'll do it. But like, anyhow, yeah. I feel like the X does have a point here when it comes to like.
Well,
actually
the thing
having-
with minifigures is like I agree. I feel like points to both sides. And the issue is I need to see what a BIONICLE minifigure done in the traditional style.
Right, okay.
I got you,
I
Sam.
haven't seen
understand
it
that.
yet, and that's
Listen,
where X needs to come
X,
in. Because so
really,
far
if you
in
could
this
do this-
I
contest,
feel like we'll need to see a little bit of both. Like we'll need
in
to
this
see like
contest, we have in our BIONICLE contest, we've seen a bunch of minifigures using like the HF template and the HF style of build. I know what those look like, but I want to see what a traditional minifig could look like, because never underestimate what you can do with printing. Like, I'm concerned about the detailing or whatever. Would they look like BIONICLE figures? Would they look like weird human Uncanny Valley hybrids? But if it's printed well, it could work just fine.
Actually, I've really enjoyed your custom so far. So if you're able to do this with BIONICLE, I would really. I mean, it would be fantastic if you're able to take this concept and like kind of make it a thing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I guess you could also like attach some mechanical looking parts to minifigures too.
Right.
'Cause I know
well,
there's like
you could
they
also
have, like,
create
mechanical
like
arms now, and
you can create like a well, you can do add-ons. I do think I was talking about this earlier too, where he's like, I do think that the future of the minifigure is based on expanding the template for the original minifigure and not changing completely. That's what I hate about big figs.
Same.
That's what kind of takes away from me.
No,
that's why I love Axel.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like was it Harley Quinn has like the roller skates that attach to the bottom of the feet. Like this, just like Axel is possibly the best example of something that adds to the minifigure formula without taking away something from it.
Right.
Totally
Axel does not like the bigger figure. I don't even know what to call that because we already have like a big fig. But that type of thing.
Mid-fig.
The mid-fig. Yeah. It's perfect. It's honestly, it's exactly what we needed. Obviously, the proportions might be a little off, but the concept of like having a larger body that you can use in minifigure that has the same amount of articulation as a normal figure, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Onua would be basically Axel in my mind. Like that's exactly the kind of build I'd want for him.
Because like you can do like people just see Axel when they see that body, but like me, like I've painted the whole thing like dark gray and made it into like Reinhardt, and that's just like there's so much stuff that you can do.
Nice.
Okay.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that too, dude.
Well, it's really hard because
Upload it.
I was gonna make like a minifig of like all
Post
the
it.
Overwatch guys, but like I'm trying to make them the same quality as those Destiny minifigures that I made.
Oh man.
And I've
Yeah.
currently worked on these for like 2 years now. This whole roster,
Man.
and I've
whole roster.
like made 4 of them.
Post
Wait,
your
who you
toast,
made?
dude.
Who have you made actually?
I have some of Reaper, Reinhardt, Diva, and Mercy. But
Mercy.
Ooh.
Hashtag Bay.
because I don't know why I started with those characters. I just kind of did. I mean,
Because
if you've seen my
Reaper is
posts,
best.
I have not posted in 3 years. But like,
You should do.
it's
Yeah.
You should do Farah next.
Actually,
Farrah.
I don't think you should do
Zenyatta.
Farrah like at all. Like just leave her out of the.
Dude, Farrah's
compilation.
such
No,
a good
Farrah's
character,
great.
and
I
and
don't
she's
know.
back in the meta now too. It's amazing.
She is back
wait,
in the
X,
meta now.
I know I'm gonna regret asking this, but you still play on PS4, right?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I Twitch.
Oh, you don't play it.
I
Well,
will
you don't
always
Twitch
play on
actually.
PS4
You don't
just
live
'cause-
stream Meso.
just
Wait,
'cause-
what for?
You don't Twitch because you don't live stream Meso.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
I thought that's what we were talking
Phweffie,
about.
my girl.
Whoa!
Cool.
All right.
Oh,
so I was
man.
looking at these Nexonites Ultimate sets, and like, first of all, transparent armor looks perplexing on a minifigure. I'm not used to it.
think
What's
it
that
looks
word
fun.
mean?
It doesn't
It
look
means
bad. It just, like,
confusing,
it
unusual.
confuses me.
Dunno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Secondly, though, man, they tack on a lot of stuff to these minifigures. Macy has a full protector stud launcher coming off her back.
Is that on?
Like, how would
is
that
on
even
her
stand?
back, or is that like?
that's on her
Attached
back.
to a
That's
thing?
on her back. She can
Really?
not stand. I have her.
Ah,
She falls
That's
over.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
know.
I don't know about that. That's a little over the top.
That's a little much, but I do
The figure
appreciate
can't
the
stand on its
concept.
own with all that crap on it.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
I
I'm
really
with
Lego
like.
has this weird fascination with making overly large weapons. Like, I bought the Master Wu Dragon a while back from Ninjago, and there's this one dude who has, like, a sword that's bigger than himself, and also
Oh,
a
you
giant
talk about
shield.
the transparent orange silver sword thing in Nexonites?
No, not particularly. This is a
Nah,
ghost. He's
fool.
like he's a ghost that, number one, doesn't have proper feet, because he's a ghost. He has, like, a thing, and he has
Right.
a giant sword that's bigger than himself, a giant shield that's, like, half his size, and 2 swords stood on his back. He can't stand. He's like, he flops all around. And it's like, come on, man. Do you need that many weapons?
Well, the whole thing with minifigures is that
Yes.
they're covering 2 things. Is that like Lego really likes their minifigures, it's a huge trademark by them, and you can really sell that to everyone. Like, oh, this is a cute minifigure, I like that. People buy some of these Nexonites things because it's still a minifigure, and it's just cool to have on your stand. And also, kids like playing with characters that are big, bright, colorful, all that, and so you have two flies in one smack, or however that word
2 birds
words
and
go.
1 stone.
Yeah, that thing. But kids like playing with these things, and when you add so much to a character, it's more of a character that they can play with. Like I saw, I was at a friend's house, and his little brother was playing with this, and these bright Nexonites characters are incredibly fun to play with for them because they're big and they can hold them and like tip them around and stuff because they make a presence. They're big, and
That's true.
and the bad guys in comparison are like these small minion type creatures, and so in like their fantasy, they sort of reinforce that this is like the hero character fighting this army, and it's just a fun fantasy. Like they have gone through a lot of like product testing with Lego. Like they know what they're doing with these minifigures, and there's a reason why these small characters are becoming bigger and bigger. Like you saw this in the beginning with Ninjago, that they just had the normal little ninja thing going on, but now they're like making these big
now
characters.
There's like
with pats and stuff. Like kids eat this up. Like they love these minifigures.
I'm excited to see the Ninjago movie figures once they come out and like what they're doing with the sets, because Ninjago has stepped up in quality, and every time Lego comes up with a movie set, they seem to step up in quality. Lego Batman, for example, has some of the best minifigures I feel have ever come out of Lego in this way, honestly. The detail and the printing and everything on some of the Lego Batman stuff is just phenomenal, and so I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing for Lego's own themes.
I just looked up Ultimate Axel. Look at that thing.
Okay.
I have made him stand, but it's really hard. But he's a cool guy.
I don't know what to make of that.
The tiny legs, man.
Dude, the tiny legs reinforce the minifigure aesthetic.
Skip the leg day.
Yeah, no, I think that like I'm not
going
to say the proportions are best, but like I do like having the normal minifigure legs, but the giant bulky upper half.
I just like cracked up at the hands, just like his big add-on.
He does have two big hands, right?
Yeah, and
But
like
anyway.
I've talked about these before in like one podcast. I remember I talked about like how I like how Lego like they dropped the whole collectible thing because they want you people and kids to collect characters like they did with BIONICLE, but just with Lego system. And what they've done these speed soar thingies, they've done like the spinner thingies with Ninjago, and they just took that entire aspect out and just reinforced the characters and tacked on, and that actually did better. And it doesn't alienate customers as well, because people like people that are not interested in X Knights at all or anything, they will just buy this just to have this little character that can have on their shelf or something. And it's just those are good products. These packs.
You do bring up something actually kind of cool, X, which might be a concept going on that we might think about. LJ, in your video that you did, Pins and Axles, you talked about how G1 had this kind of aesthetic when it came to the characters and how they had a hierarchy and everything. And I was thinking that one of the things that BIONICLE definitely lost as it went on was having the concept of a ton of villagers. Not just like one Matoran for a Toa, but like an actual assortment of villagers.
I had a few people questioning me on that. They said, well, why did you say that 2009 and 2015 were closer to the Golden Years hierarchy than 2004? That's because 2004, you got a Toa, you got a Matoran, that's it. With 2009, at the very least, you have all these different villagers for a village. You'd have at least 4 villagers for the Water Tribe, and then your 2 heroes, and so on and so forth. It was a very well-established and fleshed-out world that you could actually work with. Yeah, it's because of the vehicle sets. And that's what 2001 to 2003 did. They had groups. They had villages that you could visually see, rank up and go together. But
and you also had creatures that were brought back, like the Spigot and Skirmix.
Yeah.
And all such.
Did you say spaghetti?
Yes, spaghetti.
That's exactly what he said.
Spaghetti.
You can never forget
spaghetti monster.
spaghetti.
Never.
No
Spaghetti
upsetty
monsters.
spaghetti. But yeah, let's go.
No upsetty has some spaghetti.
So, if they did do this, like what Lex was saying, like having collectible figures. Having collectible figures into the packs, I think villages are a great way to introduce alongside like the Toa characters. The same way to do like Ultimate Axle. I feel like that having a bunch of characters like in the sense that are kind of story relevant. That's one thing that BIONICLE had a lot in its original name because of Minog. There's a lot of characters in Minog that like weren't even sets, but like you knew about them and they had a place in the story. The entire Chroniclers company, honestly, was like. They weren't minifigures back in 2001.
That is correct.
Or not minifigures. Obviously, they weren't minifigures. They weren't like sets.
Yeah, so some of them we could actually see as what they would be like in set form. Like you'll see some promotional imagery of, say, Tamaru or Capura.
Which is also cool that they did that.
Yeah, and it looks exactly the same renders as Jala and Maku and so on and so forth. The Tohunga that were actually released, but they were never released.
Holly?
Excuse me? Yeah, even Holly, yes. As a little Mictoran. They weren't released, and Some of them
Right.
are capable of being built, but they just
Right,
never
exactly.
released.
Well, I mean, like the whole concept of like having the masks, that I would say that like if I had to build a ultimate Tahu thing, it would be based around the idea of having like a Suva, right? Having a Suva where you can put all your masks in, like having that kind of thing.
Which
So
is
like
kind of what these Nexo Knights sets do.
In a
These Ultimate
sense,
sets,
right.
They've got like a pedestal of some kind. And all you got to do
Right.
is rearrange that and make it like circular. And then there's-
Right, and I honestly I wouldn't mind if like the majority of the Suva was like a giant piece, or something like that. As long as you can build something around it, give the Toa some like some cool things, cool weapons to work with, and also the masks as well, and maybe a villager, maybe have 2 minifigures. I don't know. We would have to see how much that would add up, and if it's cost effective for Lego
I
to
would be
go
all
on.
up
But,
over
Here-
that.
here's
but conceptually, I really like that idea.
Here's an idea, maybe this was actually what you just said right now, but like in my head it just sounded different. But basically, like having like these like ultimate packs, right, where you have like the little half thing, like break that up into 6, and so like if you buy all 6 of the ultimate like Toa minifigure packs, whatever, it makes up for like this big circle, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I totally see what you're going for.
Like this.
That might,
Like as it's like they have like their own stand with like their weapons and stuff, but if you buy all of them, they make like this big circle that almost like becomes like an arena or something, and that can become something. I don't know. I'm just sort
that
of
could be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
I'm just brainstorming right now. That was just an idea.
It would be also kind of cool to have like a thing where it's like, if you have like 2 villagers and they're part of like this like a part of a village-esque kind of set, and you connect all the villages, they form like a Koli arena.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
see,
I
this
was
is the
thinking
stuff.
something along those
Yeah.
lines too, where they make a
Like this
Koli
modular-
arena. You got all
Yeah.
the functions working together. Yeah, that'd be great.
This is the
Right.
thing they could
remember
expand
the old
upon.
remember the old Lego soccer sets?
Yeah,
I never had any of those,
I
but
loved
now
getting parts.
Yeah,
from those.
man.
I never laid my hands on one, but I feel like that could work for like a Koli type thing.
It possibly could. I mean, we could go over the place
There's
with
so
that.
many options you can do.
This is like a big
Alright,
thing,
so-
Minifigures.
which like BIONICLE could do with System, which they couldn't do with Technic, is that like a bunch with the scenery and world building. 'Cause-
Set pieces.
Yeah,
Exactly,
set
the set
pieces.
pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like you could actually. The important thing in BIONICLE is creating a world for people to create their own fan creations in. That's what made G1 so popular, and I feel like that's what they kind of missed out on G2. And I've said this beforehand, but it's like it was so hard for me to try to write fan fiction in G2, and it came so easily to everyone in G1 because
Until
G1
that art book came out.
exactly because G1 had this world already made up for him, So basically, it's like. I feel like without that, if Lego does not introduce a world visually, if they did not kind of like present that to people, if they ever brought back BIONICLE, it won't have the same feel, it won't have the same kind of,
I completely agree.
attraction to it. We're out of time as we always are with the G3 discussions, but it was really great.
In this case,
talking
we're
to you,
a little
Alex.
bit shorter than usual, unfortunately, because we do need to get to
We've
our
gone
stream.
we've gone before, like
That
an hour
and
and a half.
we're
but, like,
catching Trooper up to speed.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
the stream's
But-
gonna be for.
Yeah,
X,
no.
you're invaluable to this whole
Honestly.
shtick if you can make a maca of some kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That threw me
Save
off
it.
because invaluable sounds like I'm not valuable. But I looked up
And
that word. I
to be
remember
fair-
doing this. That it actually means that you are valuable. So
To
thank
be
you.
It
fair,
means
you're
we,
right.
It means invaluable means that we can't put a value on you because you're worth more than money. No, dude, that's literally the definition. We can't.
Oh,
put
yeah,
value
it's like I don't care about you.
You have
just
no
saying,
value
it's like-
in a good sense.
I'm gonna eat you up, Takuma.
Well, stay tuned.
okay.
Hopefully, whoa.
Okay,
Hopefully, X you'll be able to get like a mock-up of what that minifigure looked like kind of soon. I'd love to see that. And
It would be
until then,
absolutely wonderful.
you guys are stay tuned. to
Until
TTV
then,
Podcast.
we are probably going to have to end this episode of the TTV podcast right
probably
here.
he means with brute force.
Yeah, basically, it's over. So, thank you all very much for watching our continued discussion of BIONICLE G3. This week we had a couple of facets to the minifigure discussion. Maybe next time we'll get back to story. Who can say? I don't know.
There we go.
I guess it depends on
Hopefully.
if X
There,
can get
I
his
am.
That's my
I'm,
jam.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
ready
my
for the
jam
story.
too.
All right,
And
let's
it's
see
my
this.
jelly and butter. Yeah,
Flour
Peanut
and
butter.
Butter.
I hate peanut butter. Anyway,
What?
thank you all very much.
No, okay.
New
I'm
discussion.
sorry.
Leave-
No,
leave it
hold
alone.
on. No.
Leave it alone.
No.
Save it
We
for the live stream.
All right, all
We
right,
gotta
all right.
go.
All right. Thank y'all very much for watching episode 232 of the TTV Podcast. As always, every week, we would like to give a special shout-out to one of our Patreon members at random. This week, I would like to shout out Rory Mann. Thank you very much for pledging to our Patreon, continuing to support our content, and following us for everything that we do this
Sounds
year
like some
and
kind of
beyond.
superhero.
Thanks, man.
The epic Rory Mann!
Okay, not when you say it like that.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. I'm Meso.
I'm Barteran.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Ven.
I'm Phweffie.
I'm Takuma Nuva.
I'm Tenebrae Invictus.
I'm dead, but now I'm known as alive.
And you're also the XX Trooper.
Yeah, that's
good
it.
to have you back.
Oh, yeah, hey. I
The
know.
artist formerly known as Dead.
See y'all next week, and goodbye.
Farewell.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Wanna be ya.